Hello my friends, how are you doing? It's good to see you for yet another video. So we know we are in hot water here in America as the situation with the Trump regime and the anti-ICE protesters continues to escalate here in America. And we are knocking on the door of incredibly scary times because we know that Donald Trump is absolutely escalating this situation on purpose for his own ego, as a distraction from all the things, all the problems he's got going on in his presidency. A whole list of things, a whole list of reasons rather, of why Donald Trump is doing this. But my friends, when you get into a situation like this, it's always nice to see strength from other people, people standing up, and it gives us that strength to sort of help us stand up and figure out ways that we can make an impact also. And today this video is going to be about the strength, the absolute strength that Gavin Newsom is showing the rest of the world, especially the rest of the country. And I want to be clear. There are some things about us that separate us from MAGA, my friends. And one of those things is we do not worship our politicians, I don't think. I don't want to speak for all of us, but I think that we don't worship our politicians and we are able to see fault in them when they are maybe fucking up and not doing something that is such a great move. So there are times when I look at Gavin Newsom, like for example, when he did a podcast with Charlie Kirk, apparently trying to find some sort of middle ground. I wasn't too impressed with that. I got news for Gavin Newsom in this particular case. There is no middle ground with Charlie Kirk. That guy is one of the biggest scumbags on the fucking planet. That guy embodies incel basement dwelling neckbeard, and he's 100% that culture. If you guys have ever taken a deep dive down incel culture on the internet, Charlie Kirk is 100% acting all of that out. See, Charlie Kirk is such a despicable person, such an evil, awful, terrible personality. Nothing good about that guy. He was unable to find a woman that was willing to fuck him, and now he's taking it out on the rest of the world. It is 100% neckbeard incel culture. And the thing that never ever occurs to those people that act like that in the incel culture is just try being a decent person, right? Work on your personality a little bit. Understand that in life you're gonna, take a swing, you're gonna shoot your shot, and sometimes you're gonna swing and miss. And rejection isn't the worst thing that's ever happened to you. But he 100% embodies that entire fucking thing. He wants to control women. He believes that he is superior to women, and that's some of Charlie Kirk's better traits. Also, he's a fucking Nazi, but it never occurred to him to work on his personality, work on his speaking skills, try being a better person, because, listen, I'm not an expert on the ladies, so to speak, but you know what? A good personality goes a long fucking ways, and Charlie Kirk doesn't have that, and that's what helped him turn into the Nazi fuck that he is today. So I didn't agree with Gavin Newsom's attempt to extend an olive branch to people like that. But right now, my friends, everything Gavin Newsom is doing is absolutely inspiring, and I have to sit here in awe as this man stands up strongly to Donald Trump and what he is doing, because, my friends, that is a thing that is sorely missing on the Democrat side of this entire thing. Now, I got to give a few, props, a few shout outs, I suppose, to the people out there that are standing up. AOC is doing a wonderful job. Bernie Sanders is doing a wonderful job. Jasmine Crockett absolutely fucking crushing it out there. But we have some weak fucking leadership on the Democrat side also. I know I get myself in hot water sometimes when I say this, and listen, it's just how I feel, and I understand if people aren't going to feel the same way, but fuck Chuck Schumer. This guy is the biggest waste of a fucking seat in the Senate that I have ever seen in my fucking life. Hey, maybe there was a time he was effective, maybe there was a time that he got shit done, but right now I am sick to death of Chuck Schumer and his strongly worded letters and the bullshit that he's trying to pass off as fucking resistance. It makes me sick to watch people do this. Same with, there's times where Hakeem Jeffries appears to be inspiring and he appears to stand up for things, and then he comes out and he says shit like, well, there's nothing we can do. We don't have the majority. Stand in their fucking way, Hakeem Jeffries, any way you can. You have more power than average American citizens, and for you to stand behind a podium and say there's nothing we can do, gotta be honest with you, it's not very fucking inspiring. But we've got Donald Trump intentionally escalating the protests that are going on, the anti-ICE protest. And I gotta be honest, I don't want to hear a goddamn thing. I've said this before, but I don't want to hear a goddamn thing from anybody on the MAGA side talking about patriotism ever again in my life. These people are not patriots. They are intentionally selling out America, and we have so much fucking proof of that. As I went over in the video last night with Doug from Political Drain, I know it was kind of a long video, my friends, and I hope you got the chance to watch it. About an hour and 15 minutes. But the reason was he was answering a lot of questions that I didn't know shit about, and I felt it was important to bring him in and we can get out actual information instead of me just going off half-cocked on a video like that, where Doug was telling us about, the military and different ways the National Guard can be deployed, lawful and unlawful orders, and explained that we are getting obviously dangerously close to martial law here in America. But a point me and Doug touched on was MAGA's complete lack of understanding for how government works, and that's why they're trying to steamroll the entire country, because they don't understand how it works. The reason I say I don't want to hear a fucking thing from them ever again about patriotism is because they are cheering on Americans losing their rights as per the Constitution of the United States of America. They don't know a goddamn thing about how any of this works. Remember when Donald Trump signed an executive order getting rid of birthright citizenship. The vast majority of Americans are citizens by birthright. I was born here, and that is how my citizenship came to be. Well, these fucking bootlicking dumb fucks cheer this shit on, thinking that it means, oh, we're getting all the Mexicans out of here. And what I mean by that is they are cheering for their own rights to be absolutely fucking decimated. They are cheering on the fact that people are being deported with no due process, not understanding the fucking slippery slope that they are going down when they start allowing due process to be removed. It's just mind-blowing how little this whole movement understands about politics. It's fucking insane. I got a little bit off topic there, but right now, Donald Trump, let's go over the reasons that he is escalating this, and it's fucking sickening that this is what Donald Trump chose to use as a distraction from the shit that is going on. Because, a lot of people tell me in the comments, and I do try to read all comments. Sometimes the video blows up and I get way behind on all of them. But a lot of people tell me what Donald Trump is doing right now is just a distraction. You need to focus on what he's actually doing behind the scenes. And sometimes I agree, and sometimes I strongly disagree, because he is right now using the military as a distraction. So we have to understand the lengths that Donald Trump will go to distract you from what is going on. And apparently that includes turning the military on American citizens in an effort to escalate that so we can be distracted from what's going on. Well, what is it that we're being distracted from? One is his massive feud with Elon Musk right now. That was going to spiral out of control any fucking minute. Is it a coincidence that immediately Donald Trump deployed the National Guard and Marines to LA to turn that into news? No, it's not coincidence. He did that shit on purpose. So the distraction is just as bad, if not worse, than the shit that's actually going on. So we have to pay attention to the fucking distractions also. What else is he trying to distract us from? The big, beautiful bill that is going to bankrupt America, that is going to saddle our children and grandchildren with insurmountable debt, bankrupting the fucking country. We've got the world out there just how do I want to say this? At very least discussing not using the American dollar, the US dollar, as the world reserve currency anymore because of Donald Trump's fucking shenanigans. Financial ruin, absolute financial collapse of America is what's happening. That's what's going on. What else is he distracting from? Well, I think that's fucking it. But the reason for this video is I want to touch on sort of a point that me and Doug made in the video last night also. Every one of us is important in resisting the bullshit that's going on out here. If you make YouTube videos, if you make TikToks, if you confront your crazy racist uncle during the holidays on his views and put him in his place, if you've got a mouthy coworker that's on and on about Trump and all their bullshit, look, I'm not suggesting you get in a fight at work. What I'm suggesting is every once in a while you stand up for yourself, tell that motherfucker to shut his mouth, or at least come back at him with facts of what's actually happening, because every one of us has the ability to be part of the resistance to Donald Trump and the bullshit that he is doing, because what that entire movement expects is for you to shut your fucking mouth and nod and smile and just go along with it. You'd be surprised how many people get a stupid look on their face the minute you challenge their ideas, and how quickly they back down on their bullshit, and you might plant a seed for how they might start thinking about shit. I know it's a long shot. It may not be what's going to happen, but they might. It's possible, my friends. But every one of us matters in this, and the reason that every one of us matters is because the Trump regime is nothing but a bunch of fucking bullies. And the one thing I've learned in life about a bully is the minute you stand up to them, they fold like a fucking lawn chair. Now, it's possible they'll still take a victory lap and talk about how they won, but everybody knows the truth. They didn't fucking win at all. And the whole Trump regime is showing how big of cowards they really fucking are. And that brings us back to the Gavin Newsom thing, who is standing up for America right now. Like some of the things he does, don't like some of the things he does. That does matter, but at this very moment in time, it doesn't matter that much, because Gavin Newsom is having absolutely fucking none of the bullshit that's going on here. And for the great state of California to stand up to Donald Trump, it matters a lot. It definitely matters. So Tom Homan, I don't know how to explain it. I think that's his fucking name. Maybe I'll Google it real quick just so I can make sure I'm saying the wrong name. Tom Homan. Yeah, this fucking lard ass here, he looks like your typical rural American underachiever, just do enough to get by, absolute fucking failure in life, that finally is living out his boyhood dream of fucking grabbing up the brown people and getting them out here. Because Tom Homan, well, he looks dumb as shit. He is obviously the kind of guy that has spent his life blaming brown people for the problems that he's had in his life. But Tom Homan and Donald Trump have both made the threat, at very least, to arrest Gavin Newsom for his resistance to their administration. So I watched an interview with Gavin Newsom where he said, do it. Get it over with then. If that's the thing you think you need to do, come arrest me. And my God, if they arrest him, the uprising from the streets is going to be absolutely fucking massive. Remember when Donald Trump told Zelensky he doesn't have the cards? Donald Trump does not have the cards, and he does not have the fucking support to get away with this. But you'll notice an interesting thing. After they talked about arresting Gavin Newsom, trying to intimidate him and put him in what they thought was his place, Gavin Newsom stood up and said, fucking do it. But do me one favor. Leave the kids alone. Stop, going after the 4-year-olds that are just trying to get an education. Because if there's one thing you need to know about the Trump regime is they are bullies. I've already said that. But they are looking for people that won't stand up to them, won't fight back. And who better than a 4-year-old child, right? To establish your dominance. Well, you'll notice that fucking Tom Homan and Donald Trump immediately backtracked. What? We never said that. We never said we were going to arrest him. Gaslighting the fuck out of the American people. But the whole point of this video, I know I say that a lot because I get sidetracked. It's a filler, my friends. It's a filler words while I, in my brain, try to get back to what the fuck I was talking about. In this very moment in time, the people of LA that are out there protesting are fucking heroes. They are right now the front lines standing up against fascism in America. I was going to head to LA because I'm just sitting around the house for about the next week, and I had this bright idea. I'm going to go out to LA and I'm going to just document this and kind of see what's going on. And I was quickly overruled in my home and told to keep my redneck ass at home and stay out of this one. So, there is I don't know if it's a hierarchy in my home, but I was quickly I lost that election, let's say. I didn't have the votes here in the House to take my redneck ass out to LA. And look, I have to respect that. I guess there's people in my life that care about me and don't want me to get steamrolled over there in LA. I get it. But the people of LA are 100% heroes, the front line of the resistance right now. And to see Gavin Newsom not back down, tell Donald Trump in different, more diplomatic words that he's a bitch and he ain't gonna do shit about it, is great. And we need more leaders, more governors that are standing up like that for America and doing the right fucking thing. And while rural Americans are probably sitting there cheering for this, what they need to know, it's almost similar to the military. Now, I'm not saying the protesters in LA are the military or the same thing, but they right now, the protesters in LA are the ones standing up for the rights of rural Americans that they are cheering for to be stripped away from other people and eventually themselves. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of people too goddamn dumb out there to realize what's going to happen to them if we keep allowing this bullshit to happen. And the people of LA, Gavin Newsom, everybody out there going to these protests all over the country. Tim Walz is a fucking hero right now for standing up to this shit. And there's so many other names that I can give out. Every one of you is fighting for the fucking rights of people that are cheering for their rights to be stripped away. They will never look at you as a hero, but you need to know that you fucking are. You're doing the right thing here. All that to say, Gavin Newsom, in this very moment, is absolutely rising to the moment. He is doing the right thing for the American people, and for that, I praise him for what he is doing right now. Hopefully this gives more people the strength to stand up, because that is a thing I've noticed over the course of doing this channel, my friends. I am just a lowly trucker that's just trying to make a living. Live paycheck to paycheck for the most part. I'm just a guy out here. But the amount of truckers that have popped up in my comments saying, yeah, I don't support this shit either, fucking love it. The amount of blue-collar rural Americans all over the country in my comment section that said, hell yeah, I'm going to confront that racist uncle and tell him he's a piece of shit. I applaud you. You're doing the right fucking thing. Anyways, I lost the plot, my friends, forgot what the fuck I was talking about, and I refuse to waste any more of your time while I try to figure that out. So I'm going to get out of here and start looking up what my next video is going to be about. Love you guys. Bye now.